All right, let's get right into it. If you are sick and tired of all the AI hype and you just want to know which tools can actually make your workday easier, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to cut through all that noise and give you a super practical guide to delegating all those tedious tasks you do every single day.
You've probably felt this, right? I mean, you see all these headlines about how AI is changing everything, but then the tools you actually try they feel more like toys than something you can really use at work. We're going to fix that today. This is all about real-world tools for the daily grind.
And look, this isn't just a hunch. The data really backs this up. While tons of people are using AI at work, check out what they're actually using it for. It's not for some sci-fi futuristic stuff. Nope. It's for consolidating information and just getting a head start on generating ideas. So what this tells us is that AI's biggest value right now is in handling those boring, time-sucking tasks.
So let's start where most of our time just gets completely devoured. I'm talking about meetings, taking notes, and of course that inbox that just never, ever ends. Oh, we have all been there. You're trying to be present, you're trying to contribute something smart, but you're also desperately trying to scribble down every single important detail and action item. It's basically impossible to do both things well at the same time. Okay, so here's your fix. Otter.ai. Think of it like a personal assistant that joins your meetings and transcribes everything in real time. But honestly, the real magic is the summary it spits out afterward. You can click on any bullet point in the summary, and boom, it jumps you right to that exact moment in the conversation. No more wasting time scrubbing through an hour-long recording.
All right, next up, let's talk about that digital beast we call the inbox. You know, between trying to write the perfect, professional-sounding reply and just trying to make sense of those ridiculously long email threads, it can be a massive source of stress.
So we've got a couple of powerhouses for this. First, for just making your writing better, tools like Grammarly and Pro Writing Aid are amazing. It's like having a little editor sitting on your shoulder, constantly helping you improve your tone and clarity. But for actually taming the inbox itself, especially if you use Google, Gemini is an absolute game changer. It can take a 30-email chain and summarize it in 3 bullet points. It can even draft a polite no thank you email for you. It's fantastic. Okay, let's move on. We've talked about managing information that already exists, but what about when you have to create something totally new? For a lot of us, this is where we really, really get stuck. Oh, man, the dreaded blank page. You know what I'm talking about, that little blinking cursor just staring back at you, almost mocking you. It doesn't matter if it's a report, a blog post, or just brainstorming notes. Getting started is always the hardest part. And this is where ChatGPT comes in. It's the tool everyone's heard of, but maybe you're not using it to its full potential. You gotta think of it as the ultimate Swiss Army knife for your work. It's your brainstorming buddy, your first draft generator, your document summarizer. The key is just to use it to get from 0 to 1, to get from that terrifying blank page to a solid foundation you could actually build on. And what about when you have to turn that content into a presentation? Let's be honest. For most people, building a slide deck is one of the most boring, tedious, time-sucking parts of the job. Well, if you live inside Google Slides, you are going to love this. Plus AI is an add-on that works right inside the tool you're already using. You can just give it a simple prompt like, hey, create a 10-slide presentation about our Q3 marketing results, and it'll generate the entire thing for you. Then you can tell it to reformat a slide or find a better image, all just using simple text command. Okay, let's hit another really common pain point. Someone sends you a 50-page PDF report, and you know the one specific thing you need is buried somewhere in there. But where? This is where a tool like PDFgear is just brilliant. It's a full-on PDF editor, but it has an AI chatbot built right in. So you can literally have a conversation with your document. You can ask it, hey, what were the key findings on page 27? Or summarize the conclusion for me. And it just tells you. And the best part, it's completely free. All right, let's zoom out a little bit now, because beyond just dealing with documents and emails, AI can actually help organize the very fabric of your digital work life. Now, this might seem like a really small thing, but trust me, it adds up. You've got the perfect photo for your report, but there's a distracting coffee cup in the background. Or you need to blur out somebody's face. That used to be a real pain to fix. Not anymore. Adobe Photoshop's generative fill feature is unbelievable for these kinds of practical, everyday image cleanups. You just circle an object and type remove, and it's gone. Or you can expand the background of a photo seamlessly. It literally turns a 15-minute editing chore into a 15-second task. And finally, the ultimate organizational nightmare, your calendar. It is a constant, high-stakes game of Tetris, just trying to jam in meetings and your actual work, and maybe, if you're lucky, a break for lunch. This is where something like Reclaim AI comes in. It basically acts as your own personal scheduler. You just tell it your tasks and what's important, and it automatically finds the best time in your calendar to get everything done. It'll even protect your focus time from getting booked over with meetings, and it makes sure you take breaks. It's all about automating that mental load of planning your own week. Okay, wow, that was a lot of tools, right? So the really big question now is, how do you actually start using these things without just getting completely overwhelmed? The answer is actually really simple. Don't try to do it all at once. Just pick one thing. What is the single most annoying, tedious, mind-numbing task you have to do this week? Is it taking meeting notes? Is it that blank page? Find the one tool from our list that solves that one problem and just start there. And when you do start using it, I want you to remember this, the AI sandwich method. So, step 1, let the AI do the heavy lifting. That's your first slice of bread. Step 2, you add your expertise, your context, your human touch. That is the crucial filling in the middle. And then step 3, you do one final review to polish it up. The AI is your assistant. It's not your replacement. You're still in charge. And that, right there, is the big takeaway. This is not about trying to use AI for every single thing. It's about being strategic. It's about offloading that 80% of your work that's just repetitive and tedious, so you can pour all of your amazing energy into the 20% that actually requires your creativity and your critical thinking. So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. Just look at your to-do list for this week. What's the one thing on there that just makes you sigh every time you see it? That's your target. So what's it going to be? What tedious task will you finally delegate?